Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Exponential Potential Podcast. And I'm here today with my fabulous co host and our expert guest. And today she's an expert all around zombies, and we'll get into that right away. Hi, Claire, how are you?
Hello, hello. And it's so gorgeous to see you. I feel like I missed you loads. If in the audience you don't know, we actually had a ball at the Corporate Wellbeing Expo. So we were in each other's pockets like all the time, which is such a lovely, yummy energy.
Mm,
So settling back down again nicely and yeah, thriving.
yes, lots of driving, lots of flying, lots of travel. Yeah, it was so good. We, for the first time since October, well, myself and Claire have never actually met in person. So for the first time, we met last week, as Claire said, at the Corporate Wellbeing Expo 2024. And this is the perfect lead on from that. So we are talking all about new beginnings and fresh starts. And I think we did some amazing interviews on our
Mm.
last podcast. We had Sadie Restorick, the Businesswoman of the Year 2024, which was an absolute pleasure to have her on. You had Brad
Burton.
Burton,
Not bad.
one of the
Brad.
one one of the top UK motivational speakers. So
Yeah.
we had some great guests, didn't we, Claire? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, and great fun indeed.
Mm,
It's just good fun.
mm. And what I love about this is I know that corporate people have been talking about well-being in the corporate place for a very long time, but I felt that corporates are taking it a little bit more seriously than they have in the past. Would you agree with that, Claire?
I'd say so, and people they've got to have a different offer to support and help the people around them to thrive, and that
Mm,
definitely came through really strongly. So that was definitely there. Yeah, it's really positive. Our real life Enzo today is fidgeting like crazy. So on the stand we had a variety of props, including a stuffed Enzo, not an actual stuffed dog, but a cuddly toy doorstop. I should explain. So this one is fidgeting away on my lap at the minute, which is
he's normally very calm. Maybe that's because we're talking about zombies today, and he's not quite sure that he likes that subject. So today, as a lead on us, and we ask ourselves, how can zombies be part of new beginnings and fresh starts? So we're talking about stop the zombie apocalypse.
yeah, there was definitely a highlight of the show running around chasing a large overstuffed kangaroo with a 6 foot high zombie. It was like, and it was totally, yeah, that is totally me. Everybody, yeah, it's me. It was good
Yeah,
fun. It was good fun.
yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun, and as you said, the energy on the booth and around the booth, and your talk was just phenomenal. The interaction that we got with people was amazing. So we're talking about zombies and how do they relate into our world, into our businesses, our careers, our lives. So actually, while we're talking about why were you running around with a 6 foot zombie at the show?
So I am in the authentic and disruptive space. Yeah, I'm, you know, candid, witty, in your face, but in a loving, teasing, playful way. And yeah, that for me, that felt like a really good opportunity to talk about the importance of supporting individuals and how individuals can have a huge impact on your success, your team success, and your organization success. So, from a business strategy perspective, sometimes you hear the phrase that culture eats breakfast, eats strategy for breakfast. And that's the concept that it doesn't matter what plans you put in place, if you don't have the culture around you, it will stop any big plans from being achieved. If you don't, on a personal level, if you don't have the mindset and the support structure, your plans aren't going to be achieved. So culture eats strategy for breakfast, but actually that still treats culture as this big blob, when in fact zombies and individual people or processes can eat culture. So zombies eat culture and culture eats strategy. So why are we spending all our time in this head energy and kind of losing that momentum? So I wanted to tease out that metaphor for people to really get them to be honest and open, and really examine where the zombies would be in their business.
I love that analogy, Claire. It kind of bring you, as soon as you talk about zombies, with or without the 6-foot cardboard cutout, and it was awesome, and we'll be sharing some pictures. We're going to incorporate that into our descriptions or images somewhere. But it gives you that real visual of a zombie that's sort of pretty mindless.
Yeah.
And
there are
slow and
yeah,
cumbersome and
likes to suck out all the lifeblood.
yeah.
But I do see it quite often. I see it in many different spheres. So in the workplace, for example, I've been using a zombie to describe procrastination, and just the fear paralyzes us and we can't move forward, and it means that we're rushing things at the last minute, so the quality isn't there, the collaboration isn't there. And procrastination is very often a fear-based response. And then you've got conflict, and kind of conflict is a different zombie type. It costs so much time and energy, and people don't feel safe to be their full self within the workplace. And if they're not there, they're not bringing all of their ideas or their passion or their energy. So conflict is another one. And in the talk, we then dived into the sense of line management, and actually kind of zombie managers who just are not working to elevate the we. They're really kind of quite ego-centered, quite power-based. Achieved to some extent, but still they're not fully human, not fully engaged in where we're going. So in a workplace sphere, kind of there's those archetypes. But I realized that that in my own life and in my family life, these things are just turning me into a mindless scroller, or I'm getting small hits of dopamine and attention by going, oh, it's like it's moving me away from being really present and really human. And like many different trends that go on, if that's happening within the rest time, you can bet your bottom dollar it's affecting how you're behaving in work too. So the idea of zombie, really encompasses a variety of behaviours that I see that mean that you're not your full, vibrant, lifeful self.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not present at all, are you? Because, like you say, I catch myself sometimes scrolling, and I've lost an hour, and all I'm doing is just scrolling, or I go to do something um, on my phone that's quite important or helpful, and I get distracted with
Yeah.
something, a post that comes up, and then an hour later I'm like, oh God, or 10 minutes or whatever it might be. But it is so easy.
Yeah.
And I see that the analogy there between you're just staring at something completely mindless, and that time is just gone. It's just totally zapped you, and you feel your energy's been zapped as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And in terms of kind of many of the leaders that you'll listen to on social media, and that kind of hustle mentality, we're not saying that you have to be on all the time and you have to be exploiting social media and building your business empire in your spare hours and stuff like that. But it's just being intentional about how you do spend your time so that you give your goals the maximum chance of success.
Mm, love that. And you're right, being intentional, because you still need space. You still need that time, that downtime, that quiet time. But as you say, that's an intentional thing. And we talk
Yeah,
about that a lot in terms of creating balance in life and opening yourself up for those ideas and solutions. And sometimes sitting doing what would appear to be doing nothing, you're being intentional about that to allow that calm and ground yourself and center yourself so that you're then open one for more energy, ideas and solutions.
yeah,
it,
yeah.
um is there any other areas you see that you see people becoming zombie like?
Um, so I think very often we can get caught in a sense of ego and self, and again that can stop us being fully human. So we don't really with this very often really quick to judge others and to distance ourselves from others and be in groups of like-minded people, which kind of strengthens and boosts that ego, that sense of identity, um, which is great, but it's often quite exclusive. Kind of it pushes away, and I think we are so much stronger when we are one group, one collective, one tribe, and we learn from all of the different aspects. So that can be on an individual relationship level between two people. You can get caught and not recognize, not have presence with what might be going on in their head, or what's being triggered in your own past that's causing you to react in a particular way. Where the solution looks like you get caught in this automatic behavior. And so kind of the zombie is mindless, but it is also, what are the automatic behaviors that we're not being mindful of?
Yeah, it's changing that from mindless and to mindful and being conscious, isn't it? Conscious around yourself, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Analogy, that's the word, analogy can just go, it just goes on forever, doesn't it? It's such an amazing, it's a brilliant analogy. It's
But it can be,
genius, Claire.
and well, I wasn't. I'm a catalyst, not a chrysalis in this one. But the what's what I really like about playing with the concept is that still, for many people, when you use words like conscious or intentional, it's still quite deep and spiritual, and oh, I haven't got time to be that. But
Yes.
whereas, there are a lot of people that are more away from in their bias. So kind of they may not have time to do that, but actually they really don't want to be a zombie. They really don't want to be losing time because they're sucked into their phone, or losing momentum because they're caught in power struggles. So it's a construct that I'm really enjoying, and I'm going to rerun the talk online so that people can listen in. When you're in an expo theatre, doesn't matter how big the room is, it's still quite limited, and we can have a real play with some of the aspects, and that covers more of a business angle about looking, quite honestly, at the processes that are around you, looking at the places where people hide, looking at and just not being afraid to tackle mindless behavior head on.
Mm. And do you think people might be offended, or it's a bit degrading calling people zombies? I just,
But it is definitely something that I worry about in the speech. So I always kind of put, trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about people as zombies. Um, but actually, it comes from a place of love for humans and for what humans can do. And it's a quality that you and I have talked about before. In our worlds, we are nurturers, we are coaches, and we can really see the good, the talent, the skill, the opportunity that people bring. So I love people. They're a pain in the butt, but I do love them. I love people, and I really want them to grow. And so, we just, by using the sense of zombie, like, and by owning the fact that I'm a zombie at times as well, it's really intended to say, look, come on, be more human. We love you when you're human. Because the other area that I love talking about is AI, and there's many conversations about AI and automation and how it will take jobs. Well, it'll take the zombies first,
Mm.
deliberately. So robots will eat zombies, and humans work with robots. So it's just like, so be a human, don't be a zombie.
Yeah, yeah. So how do we turn the tide? How do you talked about mindfulness, being more, engaging more, other, and you talked about culture as well. And I think
Mm.
that's really key in terms of whether that's culture, family culture, family unit, or at work. So how do you turn the tide on stopping the zombie and becoming human?
Yeah, so you need to find ways, both to boost ownership. Ownership is probably one of the most important areas. So, for example, that's ownership of how a process goes, or whether or not the business plan's going to fly. And that ownership comes from really involving people in shaping their future, really tapping into both the motivations and the pains, so that they really feel that this is the direction that they're going to go. That's almost like a wake up moment. And I've been lucky enough to work for leaders, and try to instill that within any group that I lead. Is, you can do it, and I want you on my side. I want us to build this together. I want us to see how we grow, and to have that shared ownership. So ownership is absolutely key. um, Sometimes it's permission to make
Mm.
changes. So within a workplace, it could be a permission to change a process or a tool or a form. Yeah. Number of times you go into a business and it's like, well, I fill in this form and I've been filling it in for 10 years, but I don't know where it goes. And it's really annoying when that happens. It's like, well, people don't deliberately design systems to be stressful or frustrating or to waste time. And yet, that's what we do day in, day out, and don't always have that feedback. Um, so starting to examine some of those systems that don't fit anymore. And in that one-on-one level, what are the behaviors that we're sabotaging ourselves with? Let's shine a little bit light on that. What are the beliefs that are holding us back? Let's shine some light on that, and move them forward. So certainly, really getting quite deep and engaging and exciting change, um, can be hugely impactful.
Yeah, I think it's just by starting to have that self-awareness is really powerful, isn't it? And that's where it all starts. Change, fresh, new beginnings, fresh start. The first step is self-awareness. It has to come from where you are. How am I being right now, and how are people around me being? And that's one of it's the only place to start, really, self-awareness. And then
Yeah,
how do I change it? And what
yeah,
tools do I need? Because it does take tools and skill, and it, it does take help, guidance, because we can't do this alone, can we?
yeah. And
There's small
we
changes that we can make, but most of us need help around that. Would you agree?
but ultimately, um, that first step has to be ours. It has to be ours, and it creates a chain reaction among the people around us, around your own mindset. to be an upward spiral, to start to shift that. So yes, the support structure is really important, but you're absolutely spot on. It does depend on you being the first, you leading yourself first, you creating the presence so that you understand the people around you and understand how how they're expressing their pain or their fear in their own disruptive behaviors, whether that be hiding away or kind of what's just being quite curious and inquisitive about that. You bringing empathy through so that you are really starting to show compassion and respect and creating dignity around you for people so that they feel safe to move forward. And whilst it can be quite trite to draw on big phrases, big terms, but the view that you should be the change you want to see is actually so much more powerful than you realize. It's the only way to really to lead a change.
Yeah, 100%. And just by sitting with that statement, be the change you want to see, is really powerful. Just
Mm.
give yourself a minute or two to sit with that, because we can all sit around blaming other people, not taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
people waiting for other people to change, and you could wait your whole life.
yeah,
So yes, such a
yeah,
powerful statement. Be the change you want to be, you want to see.
yeah. And then hug a zombie.
Yes, the compassionate element. Yes, because it's like, well, I'm going to show you the way, but not from a this is how you must do it. It's more of a lead by example, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
And I love that, giving other people, by you doing that, you're giving other people permission to do the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Claire. Is there anything that you want to add to that? Is there anything before we move on, say goodbye
Uh,
to our?
so keep an eye out because, as I mentioned, I test ran this talk with the Corporate Wellbeing Expo, and I want to run it again because I just want people to really quickly grab the idea and then start to examine whether zombie processes are, whether zombie people are around them, and whether or not they are a zombie. In what way, so that they're able to kind of ignite this particular thread and get it going and empower people, because this is very much the month of new beginnings and transitions. And what does mean you need to let go, you need to be brave and courageous and let go of some aspects, move towards your goals.
Yeah, thank you. And if somebody wants to reach out to you, Claire, because they need some help within their organization, um, or even for themselves as a leader, as a business owner, how would they do that? What's the best way they can connect with you?
So the best way is through LinkedIn. Find me as Claire Oatway, or via the website. So www.neon-juno.com, and you can find me. You can find some of this thinking. You can find some free resources as well. So don't be shy. I'm very kind of sharing in terms of what we've got. I just want to help people wake up and feel alive, and to spread that energy within the workplace.
Fantastic. And Claire also offers a complimentary business strategy as well. So you get to experience Claire's genius and insights. So I highly, highly recommend you reach out to Claire.
Only if you
So
want to change.
yes, if you want to change, if you want to stay where you are, then stay where you are. But if you're ready for change and you want to elevate your business, your teams, your company, please reach out. Well, not please, but reach out to Claire, because you will your future self will thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jen.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you very much for listening or watching. You know what to do. Please subscribe, smash that button, share, like, and give us feedback, comments. What else do you want to hear about? What is it that you're struggling with? We love to hear from you. Have a great day. Till next time. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye.